All right, so make it 9 in a row for the Flyers as they lose in a shootout, 4-3 to the Islanders in a game where honestly I didn't think the Flyers played that bad. I felt like it was honestly one of their better games in a while. The last handful of games have been at least watchable for them. Tonight was another one that was a pretty good game overall. I mean, the Flyers found themselves down early, another brutal start, and I think everything, I've mentioned it before, and Drew said it post game. Right now they're finding ways to lose games, and that's what they've been doing for a while. They're finding ways to lose games, and they did tonight. There was a pretty crucial turning point in this game that ended up leading to a lot of Islanders' chances, ended up being the tying goal, and then the game ended up going to a 9-round shootout with a crazy overtime. But lines for this game: Farabee, Drew, Atkinson, Lindblom, Lawton, Konechny, then names like Frost, Mayhew, Willman, Bunneman, McEwen, Provorov, Braun, York, Sanheim, Yandel, and Ristolainen, and Carter Hart in net for this one. So obviously, as I said, the Islanders score early. Salo scores. Thought he scored his first NHL goal last night. Ended up getting changes to SeatGeek, and then he scores his first NHL goal tonight. Which doesn't surprise me that he scores his first NHL goal against the Flyers, because it seems like every player does that when they play us. Flyers really couldn't get much going. Islanders had the puck in the first few minutes, then the Flyers take a penalty, and it was a no-zone penalty. So it was one of them kind of ticky-tack calls in the offensive zone, and they're already down a goal. It was looking to be a really, really bad game from the start. Braun had a block shot. Basically was struggling to keep himself off, but the Flyers ended up killing that one off. Islanders had some pressure, but that was about it. Around 11:45 of game time, the TV showed the ozone time, the offensive zone time, and the Flyers had 48 seconds of it. Islanders had around 3 minutes. So yeah, that's kind of shows you how rough this one was. Flyers had a good shift from the fourth line, though. Provorov had a nice hit on Clutterbuck that kind of started everything for them. They played a lot better in the second half of that period. Ended up getting the tying goal here from Farabee, but called off for offside. And then JVR tried for a bank pass off of Frost, for Frost off of Varlamov's pad, but ended up getting deflected away. That looked like it was going to be one of those really good set plays where you kind of get the shot pass off the pad, but Varlamov was able to stick that one away. Willman had a chance in front off of a turnover. Close goal, but penalty, and the Flyers score on the power play. James Van Riemsdyk scores in front. It was a good entry by Giroux. Flyers set it up. It was also a good play from York just to get the shot quick and through. I know it went wide and was kind of a crazy bounce, but it was still a good play for him to just get it, to the net, even though it went wide. Ristolainen had a huge hit after that. Provorov had a shot from the corner that almost went in on a tip in front. Hart had a really nice save on Pajot late, and that ended the first period. Again, it was a bad start, but the better overall period. In the second period, was kind of back and forth, honestly. The Flyers honestly kind of had majority of the chances in the first handful of minutes here. They get a power play. Atkinson had a shot early. Then, again, they had 4 shots on net on that. Really good zone entries. They were playing really well. I mean, they're really all over the Islanders, had a lot of zone time. Yandel had a chance. Giroux in front, back over to Yandel, tried to slip it back door to Farabee, but ended up getting deflected wide. And the Flyers kept buzzing after that. Barzal had a play around Willman. That was easily the Islanders' best shift of the period. Provorov, I honestly thought Provorov had a really good game. It felt like he was setting up the offense. He was good defensively. He had that chance that almost was tipped in home late in the first there. Had one where he tried for Mayhew, ended up getting deflected away. He definitely, I felt like this gave me a lot of confidence. Same with York as well. But I was very pleased with Provorov's play, and I thought he had a really solid game, and he was very noticeable as well. Islanders would end up taking a 2-1 lead, though. It was kind of a broken play, honestly. York had some pressure behind the net, which was the main turnover, and then Sanheim didn't really tie up Bailey. It was a great play by Bailey, though, to get it from skate to stick and score right in front. And then the Flyers, 26 seconds later, tie the game. Konechny. He's another guy who I thought looked really good in this game. Definitely playing with confidence. Again, that goal that I mentioned last night is one of the positives from that game. Leads into this game, gets the tying goal, so hopefully that can spark Konechny. Seems like it has. His game has definitely been better, and he gets that goal there, and the Flyers tie it. Varlamov late, too. Dives back on the Ristolainen shot, sweeps it off the line. That could have been 3-2 for the Flyers. Could have been 4-2 after that Giroux goal, which was absolutely disgusting. I'll talk about that in a minute, but that was a huge turning point in this game as well. So third period, Flyers get an early power play, and they own pretty much the first 7-8 minutes of this period as well. Islanders had one shot in the first 22 seconds. The TV showed that they had none, but that first shot that ended up getting deflected off Hart's blocker and out of play, that was, I registered that myself as a shot on goal. I don't know if they just missed it or what, but so Islanders had one shot, and that was it. So the Flyers get the power play, had a handful of passes. Really nice setup by Giroux. It was a tip pass back to the point over to Atkinson. Shot ended up getting deflected wide, but it was a chance for JVR and close to score. Couldn't took it home, though, and it was a pretty good shift after the power play for the Flyers as well. They had early pressure, ozone time. And one thing I'll always continue to mention throughout the year is ozone time, because that's one thing that they struggled with early. They've really tried to get better at that, and it seems like there's different aspects of their game that are getting better, but again, when you're a bad team, you're going to find ways to lose, and the Flyers do that in this game. So Giroux scores. Beautiful passing play. Farabee off the wall, Atkinson back to the middle, and Giroux slips through, tips it to himself, quick shot, high glove, bar down, absolutely gorgeous goal. McEwen then fights Chara, and it was a hit on Mayfield, and I didn't really love the fact that McEwen dropped the gloves here, because it was just, the Chara, obviously a guy who's been in the league a long time, played a lot of games. He's second most games as a defenseman. That's a play right there where he's probably trying to get his team sparked. They only had one shot, and that's one where McEwen accepts, and they fight, and it was a pretty good scrap, and it felt like after that, Islanders had some ozone pressure. They had some time. They started to get in on the Flyers. Farabee ends up getting hit by Dobson in the corner. Looked like it was just a routine check, but Farabee gets up slow, skating to the bench. I'm like, oh, God. And ended up coming out there the next shift. If he is injured, I don't think there's been any medical update or anything like that. I don't know if he played the rest of the period through an injury. Hopefully not. Hopefully he is okay. But yeah, that would stink to lose Farabee, because again, the Flyers lose Hayes today, like we talked about on the podcast earlier, which was just brutal. And he's out 3 to 4 weeks. At this point, you might as well shut down Hayes for the rest of the year. I tweeted that out earlier. You might as well, because he's already been playing hurt. I mean, why risk it to get him hurt again, hurt worse, and re-aggravate the injury? You might as well shut him down for the rest of the year, because I don't think he's going to be back 3 to 4 weeks like that timeline says. So we'll see what happens there. But back to the game. After that, Islanders got some pressure and they score. SeatGeek ties the game. Overtime was back and forth, many chances in the 9-round shootout. Was the 9-round shootout. Islanders score. Wahlstrom scores the winner there. So overall, it's been, the game tonight was, it felt like it was going to be on the better side of things. I honestly thought the Flyers were going to pull out with a win in this one, but they don't. And that's how it ends. So the streak hits 9. Hopefully they can break it on Thursday. That should be Jake Voracek's first game back in Philadelphia. Hopefully everything is okay with Jake. He is on the COVID protocol list for Columbus, and he is able to play. But I know they've dealt with COVID issues as well, and we'll see about that game. Hopefully the Flyers play. Will be in attendance. So obviously I'll have my video as always. Remember, guys, podcast articles, those links are on my channel. Remember to check out SeatGeek. You can use code FlyersMania for $20 off your order. Buttons, 10% off. You can use code PHI for anything there on the site, and then Garrett Group Construction for any home improvement needs. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you all again soon.